Good afternoon. We're coming to you live from Stillwater Bowl at Stillwater, Minnesota. We have the finals of the MSC, which is the Midwest Senior Classic. We have Rob Downer on my left, who is the tournament leader. Mike Wurz on my right, who just got done beating Clark Polzer in a semifinal match for the championship of this tournament. And Mike, I know you bowled Rob before, and he's a pretty tough guy to beat. And what do you have? What's your plan of attack for today? How are you going to do this?
My plan is not to miss very much because I know Rob's not going to miss much. The lanes have broken down. It's too dry on the right. It's too oily in the middle, but I'm hoping to find something in the first couple of frames and get a little lucky here.
What kind of ball are you going to use today?
I've got 3 different ones. I'm going to start out with the gold ball because that's what Rob's using, and he doesn't miss, so it's got to be the bowling ball. It can't be Rob. So.
All right, well, good luck to you, Mike. And Rob, of course, Mike's already saying that you're going to use the gold IQ, so is that exactly what you're going to use? And
yes, I've used it all day, and I'm going to stick with it for the final match here.
all right, well, I saw both you guys warm up, and you didn't, I don't think, missed at all on your practice shots, and Mike had a little bit of trouble. But good luck to both of you, and we'll start in just a second here. And Mike, you're going to start out first because Rob says he wants to finish first.
Sounds good.
Good luck.
Good luck.
All right, Mike Wurz is going to start the match up on the left lane. This is our typical stepladder format. The bowler starts, bowls one shot in the left lane, and the second bowler bowl in the right lane, left lane, and we go from there. And Mike throws a pretty good shot. I'm joined here. My name is Tom Corbett. I'm joined by Sam Lanto, who bowled his first MSC today because he just turned 50 a couple days ago. How'd you do today, Sam?
I did respectable considering I'm the young guy and the rookie on the tour, so I was able to cash. But this is a good squad of players. Everybody's a capable and skilled player. So cashing my first event, I was very happy.
Well, Rob said he was going to use the same ball. He used it all day, and I threw it in the pocket, and just a solid 9. But I don't think he's going to miss the pocket at all this game.
Rob's been lined in from the very first shot of the tournament. He started out 250, 260, and I was unfortunate to bowl against him the next game, and he was no worse. He took me to the cleaners that day.
I'm not sure how many tournament titles that Rob has. Doug Shellum is standing right next to me, who's the tournament director, along with Don Thies, who's here too. I believe he's got 6 or 7 titles, but it's like every tournament we bowl, he's in the step ladder all the time.
Rob is a very skilled player. He's playing a very straight angle today. Both of them actually are playing pretty straight angles, but that's been a very positive and good angle to play to get good carry today. This is a very difficult house to carry the 10-pin. The straighter you play or the more you hook, the better off you are. The straighter's working better.
I know Sam bowled today, and our cameraman today is Tom Havlish from Remax Realty. And Sam had to bowl a match against Tom Havlish. And Sam, how did that turn out for you?
Not so well. Tom, he found the fountain of youth for 12 frames and was able to shoot 270 against me.
I believe after he got the second strike and attempt to shut you out, he said, "Welcome to the big boy club, Sam."
Yeah, I didn't bring my big boy pants that game. Tom definitely had it.
All right, that was a good spare by Mike because that could have easily chopped it or something. And Rob started out to a solid 9, and then he goes light on the left lane, but it rips the rack. So he's got a pretty big pocket out there.
Of the two, Rob has a favorable line to the pocket because he's not throwing the ball away from the head pin to the right, and that'll give him a better carry percentage, I believe.
Yeah, I think you're right because Mike and I went through the ball a little bit away from the pocket, but it hooked up pretty good, right solid.
It's just very inconsistent when you give up the pocket. If you can go straight up the pocket and hold it like Rob has, as he's been the tournament leader, that seems to be the best line to play.
We had 40 bowlers come out today, and of those 40 bowlers, nice shot by Rob, that's pretty good. Of those 40 bowlers, the MSC breaks it down into seniors, super seniors, super duper seniors, and then real old guys. So there were 19 regulars, which is age 50 to 58. Then a super senior category is 59 to 64. There was 13 of those. 65 to 70, there were 3 of those. We call those super duper seniors. And we had 5 guys over 70. We call those the really old guys. And what we do is we cash 1 for 2 of each category. And Rob gets a little light 4, 7 thing, and Mike's going, how am I going to beat that?
Rob probably threw one of his most inconsistent shots there in that last one, and he still carried. So his line of the pocket is much more favorable than Mike's at this point.
What we got right now is Rob's got 9 spare turkey, and Mike has strike, spare, double. So we have 40 in the second for each. No, 40 in the second for Mike.
Got 50.
Rob's got 50. My math, it wasn't quite the best right then. First place today, as Doug Shellham just brings down the prize checks, $335. And second place is $260.
I've bowled against these two individuals for the better part of 20-plus years. They're both very good competitors. On tournament conditions like this today, a little bit more challenging to carry, they find themselves bubbling to the top quite often.
Yeah, Mike hasn't bowled a lot this year. He took some time off to help his dad, Wally, who had a hip replacement surgery a couple years ago.
Oh.
And Wally was here today. It was good to see him. He's in the crowd cheering him on.
That is a name from the past. He comes from a family of bowlers that have been very accomplished and skilled in the state of Wisconsin and around the Midwest.
Not many people know that Mike was also a fast-pitch softball pitcher who was a world class at that also. There's Rob. That one looks like it's going to be in the pocket, Sam.
The famous Dick Weber 457 carry.
We just found out from our crack statistician, Don Thies, who's over there, Mike Wirz has 4 MSC titles, and Rob has 8. And he says that with a spare 4-bagger, and he has a 22-pin lead in the 4th frame. That's pretty good.
Rob is eminently accurate, and what he's done in this game is throw some very quality shots and carry very well.
Lots of stuff happening here at Stillwater Bowl. A lot of open bowling at the other end of the house. There's a lot of noise going on.
Mike's not going to go quietly. He's a very good competitor.
He's not going to give up.
No.
108 in the 5th with a strike in the 6th for Mike Wirz and spare 5-bagger for Rob. If Rob doesn't miss, Sam, he's going to win.
Well, math is pretty simple on that one. And the thing is, he hasn't missed much today, as you can see by his scores. Very fortunate to get the 4-pin down on that shot.
I wasn't sure if he came around that one a little bit more because he was light on the last time. You want to make sure he got the ball to finish into the pocket. And you're right, tripped out the 4, left the 9-pin. Rob's lowest game today was 228. You know, here's how we go: 258, 268, 248, 252. That 252 he bowled against me.
Yeah.
236, 235, 228, 234. It's not bad.
Pretty simply, Rob has had the best look on the lanes. What we mean by that is being able to throw the ball where he expects to throw it and carry at the same time. He's been the class of the field today.
The MSC, we start in July for our first tournament of the year, and it goes until June, and June is our year-end tournament. And we have a Player of the Year award. For points, we have a first-team All-Star and a second-team All-Star team. And Rob is going for his 3rd consecutive Player of the Year award. Oh, he's tough all the time and all different shots. He seems just to keep the ball in play, and he doesn't miss any spares at all.
Yes, that's one thing to his credit. In this day and age of people on TV being power players, hooking the lane, Rob, on the other hand, is incredibly accurate, incredibly consistent with his line, his angle, and all that, that he's turned the page back on the sport of bowling here a little bit, where it's more about skill and being able to be accurate.
And he is very accurate, like you said.
That was a beautiful shot.
We always joke about it. His name is Rob Downer. He just plays downer and in, and that's all he does. He plays downer and in, and just strikes, hits the pocket all the time.
Well, that's a term of endearment because he's very good, and when Rob's on, it's very, very difficult to beat him. Great shot by Mike there. He needs to put a couple up on the board here to put a little pressure on Rob.
Exactly. He needs a strike in the all-important ninth frame, put some pressure on him. Not only of the 40 bowlers we cashed 20 players because it's 1 for 2 payout in the MSC. We also have what's called high game out of the money, and we pay 2 of those. Tom Havlish, who had 277, I believe was against you, Sam. He won $50 for that high game out of the money and bragging rights that he beat you in your first ever MSC tournament.
Well, Tom showed the veteran that he is. He struggled all the way up until meeting me in that particular game and dug deep and was able to throw a lot of strikes that game. It was a little disconcerting because I needed a win at that point in time, and he bowled better than me.
Were any of those avalanches or crossovers, or were they in the pocket?
That was probably the best game I've seen Tom bowl in a long time. That was a big strike that basically puts Rob into the in the winner's circle right there.
Well, Mike did what he could, struck in the all-important ninth frame, put a little pressure on Rob, and did Rob seem phased at all? He just said, you have nothing. I'm just going to throw it in the pocket again.
Rob's got a very, very good shot to the pocket, and more importantly, he's got a good shot with carry, where the rest of us are struggling. We could get to the pocket, but we couldn't get consistently more than 9, and Rob's not had that problem today.
All he needs is a mark to shut him out. Oh, then he must have swung that one a little bit.
That was
left
an
the bucket.
uncharacteristic.
But he just needs a spare to shut out Mike. Not the easiest spare out there.
This is a very difficult shot. I wouldn't want to shoot the bucket on a to win a tournament. He whiffed that one at the bottom. He didn't get his roll on that one.
Right.
Leverage at all.
He'll move a couple boards to the right, let a hook at it, and hope. He might have moved left on it. I'm not sure what he did.
That's going to be interesting. Oh, nice spare.
He knew what he was doing. He was just making us all talk about it, giving Mike's thinking he has a chance. He's going, wow, all I needed one
5
chance.
to win. 4 to win.
Well, have you ever heard of the full sodi?
I was a witness to the full sodi.
We call it the full sodi, and Randy Peterson calls it 4 through the middle. But the full sodi, Scott Sodergren bowls on our Laker team, and one time 15 years ago he had the front 11 and went right through the nose for the big 4, and he had 294, and there's never really been many others like that.
Rob
nice tournament, Rob.
Just put it like a true champion. 10 in the pit, made a great shot, made it a non-issue in the 10th.
No big deal for his 9th MSC title, and he's only like 53. He hasn't even bowled that many of them. I believe Clark Polzer has 11 titles, and maybe Al Loth has 10 or 11 titles, and Jim Lindquist has 11 titles. So, and they're all a lot older than Rob, and so Rob could probably pass those guys another couple of weeks.
I would venture a guess, based on what we've seen with Rob, that he'll push those others for the total titles.
And here's Doug Shellum standing next to me, making sure that the Locker Guy logo is in the camera there. And then the Remax and MMBowling.com, Tom Havlish.
Excellent.
As soon as
tournament.
Mike finishes this out, we'll go down. We'll have a couple words with the 2 players. So hold on. We'll be right back.
Very, very good performances by both of them. They were in the pocket consistently and made good shots, just like you'd expect from a championship match.
All right, we're here to present the prize checks and the championship plaque to the the two winners here, or one winner, which is Rob Downer and Mike Wirth, are runner-up. I have Doug Shellum with me, who is the tournament director for the MSC, and he has the cash. So we're going to bring up Mike Wirth right now. Mike, I'd like you to come up here and have a few words. Stand right here between Doug and I.
Oops, sorry, I don't want to be taller.
You pretty much said it right. You said what you had to do in order to beat Rob, and it was going to be tough to do that, and he wasn't going to miss much, and you had a couple light shots on the one lane, and it kind of cost you.
Yeah, 7th frame. If I carry that, I got a chance. But Rob and I, we go back a long ways. He's a tough competitor. The better guy won today. I'm happy. I haven't bowled many of these. I had to beat most guys, but he earned it, and good for him.
He did, and you thought he gave you a chance with that bucket he left in the 10th frame, and you were saying, no, just give me a chance, and of course he covered it up like a pro.
Yeah. When he left the bucket, I'm looking, I going, I can't believe he's even doing this, and they were giving me a chance, but hey, that's the way it goes. But he made it, and that's why he's champion.
It was good to see you back bowling again, and it was good to see that your dad Wally was here watching you too. So we haven't seen Wally around here for a while, so I'm glad he had some hip surgery and he's back. So glad you're bowling again too. So
I'll be back.
all right, well,
Thank
good
you.
tournament again, Mike. Now we're going to bring up our tournament champion, Rob Downer. There's Brian Flown in the background is cheering for you. Rob, this is your 9th MSC title. We're just discussing it. There's only 3 people who have more than you, and they have 11 titles, which is Clark Polzer, Jim Lindquist, and Al Loth. So, and your young age, I think you can probably pass those guys, whatever, but you didn't seem to have much trouble. We talked about before the match, and you pretty much threw all the balls in the pocket except for the bucket, and you tried to give Mike a chance, but you said just a little, and that's it.
Yeah, that's right. First of all, it's great to be bowling against Mike. We've been bowling against each other for about 30 years now, and it's good to see him out. He hasn't been bowling that much lately. He's always a tough competitor. I'm fortunate to come out on top today.
Well, you deserved it. You led everybody all day long, and if you lead everybody all day and win that one match, you should take home the title. And Doug Shellum is here of the championship plaque, and, of course, an envelope full of money, lots of money in there. So congratulations again. I would like to thank Tom Havlish from MNBowling.com and Remax Realty, and along with Stillwater Bowl for having us, Doug Shellum, Don Thies for running the tournament. Thanks again. We'll see you next month.